year or 2 years, we are hearing this particular buzz in the market. What is that one? That is something like analytics, advanced analytics. We are seeing analytics in the sense it is going to stretch your reporting concepts to a greater extent. What we cannot see with the normal reporting, we would like to correlate the information which cannot be seen with the help of the naked eye, and then we want to have a strong statistical correlations based on the data that is present in your database. So that is the place where your analytics comes into the picture. Okay, when we are seeing this particular analytics, there are so many things that are centering around this particular analytics, like we are hearing about predictive analytics. Okay, we are hearing about smart analytics. Okay, we are also hearing about relative time analytics. These are all the things that we are seeing here, and the industry is flooded with so many types of analytical tools at this point of time. Some are, you might have heard about TIBCO Spotfire. You might have heard about SAP HANA. There is something like big data, Hadoop is there. Okay, there is something called as ClickView, which is centering in the market right now, buzzing in the market. We are also having something like Oracle Exalytics, which is going on and on at some point of time. These are all the tools which talks about only one concept. That particular concept is nothing but the analytics concepts. Okay. We are good to have SAP is also having a major share in that particular analytics arena, and that particular concept has been given in the form of this particular SAP HANA. That particular concept has been given in the form of this SAP HANA. Okay, so if you want to see what exactly is this SAP HANA, let me start talking about this SAP HANA. It is something like a high performance analytical appliance. High performance analytical appliance. So each and every keyword what you are seeing here, whether it is high performance or whether it is analytic or else whether it is appliance, is having a very good major share into this particular SAP HANA. Okay, first thing is that let me start about something called as this appliance. When you say something called as an appliance, it is nothing but a hardware software combination. Actually, HANA is not a hardware, it is not a software, it is nothing but a hardware software combination that is fabricated on a single chip like this. And this is basically a database which is not existing in your secondary storage device, but which is existing in your primary RAM. So that's why it is also called as in-memory computing chip, what we call here, in-memory computing chip. So what we can say here is HANA is nothing but a database that is fabricated on a chip here that can be used for high performance analytical applications. High performance analytical applications. So such a type of chip is your SAP HANA. Basically it is a database. So what is Raja? What is your question here? If there is a way that you cannot speak, could you kindly type your question if you don't mind? What is the difference between, yeah, I'm able to see the questions now. Oh my God, a lot of questions here. Now, what is SAP HANA right now? I have told you it is something like, it is an, just now I have uploaded, right? It is nothing but an appliance, okay, where your database is fabricated on a hardware chip, okay, that can have the capability of storing so much amount of data, company's data in terms of terabytes, that can try to give you the reporting, or else that can give you the results within a click of a second. So such type of database is your SAP HANA. Okay, what exactly is the analytics you are asking, Raju? Let me tell you, analytics is something. Analytics is something which will help you to think beyond the reporting basically. Okay, within the report you can only see the data. Okay, but if you want to see the correlations, why exactly it is happening. Suppose, let me tell you in the real-time situation, suppose the prices of the petrol, in case if you are in India, is changing from day to day, right? So earlier it was increased with some 1 rupee 80 paise, now it has been increased once again. So if you want to understand the behind the scenes factor, why exactly a particular scenario is happening, then what we need to do is that we need to apply some statistical correlations in order to understand the disconnect. So the analytics will help you in trying to find out the unseen correlations between the information. That's why this is what is called as analytics. So there is one more thing that has been asked, why should we go for HANA? Thanks Ashwant for your question, but we need to wait for some time to understand why should we really go for HANA. Fine. So this is what is your HANA basically. HANA is nothing but an high performance analytical appliance that is containing the hardware software combination in a form of a database that can hold large volumes of your company's both current and historical data within a chip. Okay, that will allow you to report the data at any point of time. That is basically what is HANA. Okay, now you may ask, there are as per the Rashwant question, let me tell you, there are two types of databases in the market. One is your traditional databases, and second thing is your in-memory computing database. Okay, when we say something about traditional databases, let me tell you, whatever the databases what you take, either it is Oracle, if it is Oracle, okay, SQL Server, Teradata, Netezza, all these particular databases will reside in the secondary storage in the form of the hard disk, right? So when you want to retrieve that information for reporting and analysis, what should happen here? Your data should flow from the primary memory, your data should flow from the secondary storage to the primary storage, and within the primary storage only your applications will process the data before the data is delivered in the form of the report. So that means that you're going to have two types of storage here. One is nothing but your primary, which is nothing but your hard disk. Secondary storage disk you are going to have here, right? Secondary storage disk. Hard disk is there. Okay, now you're going to have one more thing which is existing here, which is nothing but your primary memory, which is nothing but your RAM. So here what should happen is that the data should flow from your hard disk to your primary memory, and then once the data is there in the RAM, then only you will be able to report the data. Okay, what is your RAM capacity? The RAM capacity is something like might be at a max you can have something like 30 GB of hard disk you can have, 30 GB of RAM you can have. And what is your hard disk capacity? The hard disk capacity is something like 500 GB of 500 GB or 1 terabyte of hard disk you can have here. But what we cannot do here, we cannot put potentially all the information from the secondary storage into the primary RAM. Only selectively you will be able to transfer that particular information, and on this particular information only you will be able to report the data basically. That is what happens with these particular databases here. So, and one more thing is whatever the data you require from your reporting and analysis, that particular data need to be brought from this secondary storage into this particular RAM. So what exactly is going to happen is that a lot of time is being wasted, is being spent in transferring the data from the secondary storage to the primary storage. That is what exactly is going to happen there, right? That is what exactly is happening there. But HANA is something different. When I say you something, HANA is different, okay, what exactly is going to happen is that HANA is nothing but a database that does not exist in the secondary storage, but which is going to exist within your primary memory itself, which is going to exist within your primary memory itself. Okay, primary memory. This is what is a SAP HANA. This is HANA here. Okay, how much data it can hold? It can have the option of holding 10 TB, terabytes to something like 20 terabytes of data it can hold in the RAM itself. So that means that what you can say here, it is something like almost 20 times or 30 times of the data what you're having in your secondary storage itself. So that means that don't you think that it is having the capability of storing massive amounts of data in the primary storage itself, so that at any click of the button your reporting applications can take as much amount of data as required, perform all the calculations, and even at a gigantic performance, again I'm telling you the gigantic performance, it will be able to report the data as well as it will be able to analyze that particular data. So such a type of database is your HANA database here. Understood, right? So what we can say here is HANA is nothing but an in-memory computing appliance, or else it is nothing but a high performance analytical appliance that is having the capability of storing the entire enterprise data within the primary memory in order to perform high performance analytical applications. That is what is SAP HANA. Hope is that one here? Hope everybody is clear with what is happening here, right? At least to some extent. So how about all these guys here? Vijay, okay, Veda, Sanjay, Rakesh. Hope you are clear with respect to what exactly is HANA basically, right? Hadi and Bipin and all. If you have any particular questions, please let me know, or else please type it in that particular video. I'll be able to answer. Why you say that the data is stored in the primary memory? I didn't get your question, Yashwant. HANA is something called as a database that is existing within the primary memory only. Okay. Cost and all we will talk about later, not now at this point of time. But let the people understand what exactly is this SAP HANA and what are the insights of this particular SAP HANA. Let us talk and let me try to answer your questions either at the session end. Okay. 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 Now, so when I say that HANA is basically a database that can store both this particular data, and also let me tell you, HANA is nothing but a hybrid database. Hybrid database in the sense that can have the capability of storing both the transactional data along with the analytical data also. That means that it can be used as a OLTP database as well as it can also be used as a OLAP database. OLTP database for the purpose of effectively dealing with your transactions on this particular database, and OLAP for the purpose of reporting and analysis. That's why it is also called as a OLAP, or else it is also called as a hybrid database, what we call here. That is the second thing. Okay, and the third thing is, let me tell you, whenever you are talking about any particular database, there are three types of aspects that you work with SAP. There are three types of aspects that you work with respect to any database. Okay, first type of aspect what you work here is first type of aspect what you work here is modeling. Second aspect what you work here is that loading of data. Okay, third aspect what you work here is reporting of data here. Reporting of data. These are the three aspects that you work with respect to any type of database, whether it is the traditional databases or else it is going to be the in-memory computing databases also. Okay. Yes, HANA is basically a database. Yes, HANA is basically a database that is fabricated on a chip. That's why it is called as an appliance, a hardware and software combination basically, Bipin. Hope this clarifies your question, right? So for any particular database, we need to have three things here. First, let us talk about loading the data. Whenever you are trying to have whenever you are having a database that is existing, okay, we need to have the data that should be loaded. Okay, for the purpose of loading the data into this SAP HANA, let us try to take the possible sources that we can use for the purpose of loading the data into this HANA database. Suppose if this is your HANA database, what you're talking about, if this is HANA database, what you're talking about, let us try to see the possible list of sources what we can use here. Anybody can say what are the possible list of sources that we can use here? Okay, first thing is that we can use SAP ECC, very important thing. SAP ECC can be used, we can use SAP BAW can be used, we can have the option of using non-SAP VoLTP databases, VoLAP databases, as well as we can also have the option of using file structures, we can have the option of using text files also. These are all the sources that can be used for the purpose of populating the data into this particular HANA database. Okay, populating the data into this. Okay. These are all the possible databases what we can use for the purpose of getting the data into this SAP HANA. And the technology what we use, for getting the data into this SAP HANA is also called as data replication, or else we also call this one as data provisioning. Very important here. We call this one as data replication, or else what we do is that we call this one as data provisioning. So these two terms talk about bringing the data from this from these particular systems into this SAP HANA. So this replication is going to be possible with the help of three types of methodologies. Here we are going to discuss three types of methodologies here. First thing is going to be your SLT replication. The next one is your ETL based replication, and next one is it is going to be your log based replication, what we call here. These are the three types of replication what we generally use here. This means that these are all the front ends for putting data into SAP HANA. Yes, Pavitra. Instead of calling them as front ends, what we can do is that we can call them as the source structures. We can also call them as the source databases from which we can try to pull the data in order to load them into HANA basically. Okay. The better term that we can use is nothing but the source structures what we can call here, Pavitra. Hope that clarifies your question, right? Okay, thank you. So three types of replication is there. One is the SLT based replication, ETL based replication, and then log based replication. Okay. First, let me tell you the SLT based replication what you are having here. This is the first one. The SLT based replication, it is directly connected with respect to this SAP ECC. Okay. Within this SAP ECC, what we can do is suppose if you have a table like KNA1, if you have a table like MARA, okay, if you have a table like LFA1, okay, from those particular tables, through this SLT, we can have the option of directly dumping the data into your HANA table structures. Okay, so such type of replication, what we generally do is that we call this one as a trigger-based replication. What we call trigger-based replication. What we call the reason why it is called as a trigger-based replication is, let me tell you. As soon as a record is inserted, updated, or deleted in your SAP ECC tables, a trigger is going to be fired. Okay, that particular trigger is responsible. That particular trigger is responsible for replicating those set of records from your SAP ECC tables into your HANA database. So such type of replication is your SLT replication, what we call here. So if you can see this diagram, you'll be able to understand this particular structure here. See here, from the application layer, whatever the data you are having in the SAP source system, the data can be directly brought into your SAP HANA database with the help of this trigger-based replication. And what we do is that we call that one as SLT-based replication. SLT stands for SAP Landscape Transform. Okay. Now, the disadvantage with respect to this SLT replication is it is able to directly dump the data without any modifications. Okay, but if you want to customize the data, if you want to customize the data by adding some more new columns, filtering the data, or else if you want to add some more calculations, or else if you want to bring the data from the transactional format into the analytical format, for effective customization, we need to use something called as the ETL based replication. Okay, for the purpose of using this particular ETL based replication, the target audience should be your hardcore ETL consultants. Hardcore ETL consultants. When I say that they are going to be the hardcore ETL consultants, we are going to use SAP Business Objects Data Services, which is an ETL tool. Which is an ETL tool. Okay, for the purpose of doing your reporting and for the purpose of migrating the data from the source structures into the target structures. So that BODS tool has to be used in order to pull the data from the systems into your target database, which is nothing but your SAP HANA. And there is a general notion, misconception in the market that BODS is separate and HANA is separate. It is not like that. If you want to utilize your HANA in your reporting applications, obviously you need to be having a good knowledge on this BODS, Business Objects Data Services. Why? Because the HANA database is tightly integrated with BODS, Business Objects Data Services, and this is only the platform, ETL platform in the entire IT world which is integrated with respect to this SAP HANA database. So that's why we can't separate as well as we cannot think about having Business Objects Data Services and HANA database as two separate concepts. Both are one and the same basically. Both are going to be one and the same. So that's why what you need to do is that we need to use this particular ETL tool as the replication for the purpose of customizing your structures in order to load the data from your types of systems. Suppose if you want to bring the data from SAP BI, obviously you need to use your ETL BODS. If you want to bring the data from ECC, we need to use this particular BODS only. If you want to get the data from non-SAP systems, obviously we need to use this ETL platform. So that's why BODS percentage is going to be a very lot in the case of this SAP HANA basically. Okay, and third type of replication is nothing but the log-based replication. Okay, that particular log-based replication is going to be something like every database is having something called as the log tables. Okay, that will try to identify the set of changes that has been happened in a particular day. Okay, using those particular log files also you can try to bring the data into this SAP HANA database, and such type of replication is called as the Sybase replication, what we generally call. Such type of replication is called as the Sybase replication, what we generally call here basically. Okay, so in the course curriculum, we will not be focusing much on this particular log-based replication, but we are going to focus both on your trigger-based replication along with your ETL-based replication also. We are going to focus a lot on this particular platform in this particular case. So all these particular replication methodologies is going to have the way of migrating the data or bringing the data from all the types of systems. What I have told you, what are the types of systems? The types of systems are nothing but your SAP ECC, BW, non-SAP, OLAP files and text files into this SAP HANA. We are going to use this particular part, which is nothing but your replication methodologies. I'll park for 2-3 minutes here. Okay, can you please let me know if you are clear with respect to this replication concept, or else if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be glad to answer your questions at this point of time. As far as your source systems, HANA database, and what is your replication methodology at this point of time. Okay. Any specific questions you are having? Welcome, Pavitra, Rajsekhar, Raju, Rakesh, Sandhya, Veda, Yashwant and all. ECC and HANA are on the same system. They are on different systems, Rakesh. They can't be on the same system. ECC is a transactional system, whereas your HANA is going to be an analytical system basically. But one thing, the future landscape of your SAP is whatever all the business applications what you run on SAP, they eventually need to be hosted on SAP HANA database. That is what is the future vision which we need to realize in the near long term. That way the industry is working out at that point of time. So that's why ECC and HANA cannot be on the same system. They have to be on the two different systems basically. Okay. Does it answer your question, Rakesh? Then what is the chance that the trigger will? Then what is the chance that the trigger will be the fast as reporting the data? See, you are going to have one more server called as the LT server, Landscape Transformation Server, that can be hosted on your SAP. That can be hosted on your SAP ECC platform. That might be on the same server. Okay, where it can make an RFC connection with respect to your HANA system, where you can have the option of replicating the data faster. See, I don't say this is going to be the 100% real-time replication. It is going to be something like near real-time replication. Near real-time replication. Okay. Speed of the RAM is much faster than any RFC. See, sir, RFC is basically used to bring the data, right? Make the connection in order to populate the data. Okay. While populating that particular data, okay, that is not that much concerned with the way you are reporting, right? So that's why I'm saying you it is going to be the near real time. Okay. And a lot of POCs have been proved. A lot of POCs have been proved that have the capability of bringing the data to the nearest possible time. So that's why there is no need to worry about how much speed it is going to be in order to bring that particular data. It is going to be a gigantic performer, Rakesh. I would like to ask a few basic questions, performs it then. Thanks, Sandhya. Any other questions? As far as your replication part is concerned. Replication strategy means, Abdul, it is nothing but the way we are going to transfer the data or migrating the data for bringing the data. Okay, for replication strategy for bringing the data from BW, it is going to be the ETL based replication, Abdul. We are going to use BODs as the platform for bringing the data from BW into this SAP HANA. Okay, it is going to be the BODs. Abdul, does it answer your question? Fine. So Now with the help of this ETL replication, you have brought the data into this SAP HANA by creating some structures. Lakshman, looks like you have any question. Can you please type it in the window if you don't mind? Where is that question here? Okay, fine. Now you have brought the data into this SAP HANA. Okay. The moment once you bring the data into this SAP HANA, what should we do with this particular data? First thing is that let us try to customize the way the data is required for your reporting and analysis. So that means that we need to model the structures here by creating some views. So that means that what are the data that you have brought into this particular SAP HANA is going to be stored in the form of the physical tables. Is going to be stored in the form of the physical tables here basically. Is going to be stored in the form of these physical tables. Okay, these are the physical tables where your HANA is going to be stored. Okay, on this particular physical tables, what I want to do is that I want to create the views. I want to create the views that will allow me to report the data at a faster rate, as well as that will allow me to customize the way my reporting applications have to be created. Okay, for that particular purpose, SAP HANA comes up with a type of studio. That particular studio is nothing but your SAP HANA Studio, what we call here. We call that one as an SAP HANA Studio here. I'll show you this one. We can also replicate the tables into SAP HANA, Lakshman, not a problem. One more thing. When we come on to this quick launch, this is your SAP HANA Studio. Okay, I told you, right, whatever all the physical tables where you are bringing the data is going to be stored in this particular catalog in the form of the physical tables here basically. Okay, but the moment we can replicate the tables in HANA, but a particular table will have links to many tables. The links of this particular tables is going to be modeled in this particular content here, Lakshman. Okay, what are the joins you want to specify for those particular tables? Okay, how they should be related and all. That particular linking content, what you're talking about, is nothing but the modeling aspect. That particular modeling aspect is going to be done in this particular modeler of your HANA Studio here. Okay, this is the place where you start modeling the content. This is the place where you start modeling the content. We can have the option of creating all these types of views. What are all the types of views? Attribute views, analytical views, calculation views, and these privileges what we can create that will help the user, please follow carefully, that will help the user to customize the way in which the data have to be reported out. So for this particular purpose, we can have the option of using this particular SAP HANA Studio. Okay, this SAP HANA Studio is basically used for three types of activities. One thing is that it can be used for the modeling activities. The second thing is it can be used for your data provisioning activities, what I have told you. And third thing is that it can also be used for your admin related activities also. This is what is the client that need to be installed on your HANA system basically. Okay, so with the help of the HANA system, yeah, obviously as a modeler you need to know to which table it has to be linked basically, Lakshman. The reason is modeling is not going to be a pure technical module. It is nothing but a techno-functional module where you need to understand not only the table information but all the surrounding tables, how they are going to be linked, in what way they are going to address the business queries of the business users. That particular information also we need to specify in this particular modeling scenarios. So what are all the questions what you are asking now is going to be related with respect to your modeling aspects of SAP HANA, Lakshman. Okay, hope that answers your question. Yeah, so a lot is going to be done with respect to your modeling, right? Once if your modeling is done, obviously I told you, right, what is the purpose of having your data in your database? The purpose of having the data in your database is to report the data for the purpose of analysis and dashboards. Okay, for this particular purpose, SAP HANA is having a lot of SAP compliant report tools, SAP compliant reporting tools. What are all the SAP compliant reporting tools? What you are having here is, you are seeing this diagram, right? From current slide. MS Excel is there, Dashboard Designer is there, SAP BI4 Explorer is there, as well as BI4 Analysis is there, and also you have something like Crystal Reports is also there. So these are all the reporting tools, okay, that can be used at the presentation layer of the business users in order to query the information that is present in your HANA database for the purpose of creating whatever all the types of reporting what you want to do, whether you want to do the canned reporting, whether you want to do the ad hoc reporting, whether you want to do the analytical reporting, whether you want to create the multi-dimensional reporting, or whether you want to create the dashboards and scorecards. Okay, all such type of reporting can be performed by all these particular reporting tools which are existing and sitting on the top of your HANA database basically. Which are existing and sitting on the top of the HANA database basically. That is the place where we talk about your reporting aspects. And one more thing, whenever you are using your reporting databases, there are two things. As I told you, HANA is a database that can have the option of storing the data in the row-based fashion, as well as HANA is also a database that can have the option of storing the data in the column-based fashion also. In the analytical fashion, what exactly happens here is, HANA is having the capability of firing the data against the relational tables, as well as firing the data against the analytical structures also. In case if you are from SAP BI background, you know the case of an InfoCube, right? InfoCube is nothing but a multi-dimensional schema where we need to understand this particular MDX, multi-dimensional scripts, for the purpose of firing the queries on this particular SAP database. So that's why this is what is your architecture of your SAP HANA and what is your the entire roadmap of this SAP HANA. Throughout my last 45 minutes discussion, you have seen a many number of applications which are tightly integrated with SAP HANA, right? Okay. Vijay, a good question. See, SAP HANA is having a predefined set of planning and consolidation applications, okay, where you can try to store all your budgeting data, forecasting data, actuals and variance headcount data, okay, that can be consolidated in the form of a planning cube, okay, and using this particular planning cubes also you can have the option of reporting the data at any point of time basically. Okay, it is also well suited for your planning applications also, Vijay. You know, like a COPA, right? Cost optimization and performance analytics. Okay, first type of applications also we have very good solutions that are in place, okay, for the purpose of creating your budgeting, forecasting and planning applications that can run either in the planning cycles or as well as in the budgeting cycles also. So it is very much flexible and simulated as per your planning applications also here, Vijay. A set of all predefined packages that SAP has released so that it can be tightly integrated with your BPC applications also here in this case. Vijay, does it answer your question? Vijay? Fine. Now, we have seen a lot of interactions on this particular databases, right? We have seen your SAP ECC systems, we have seen your BW systems, we have seen third-party systems, we have seen business objects data services, we have seen business objects, the SLT-based replication and the ETL-based replication, okay, and we have seen crystal reports, Excel reports. These are all the things that is going to be the best breed of combination of the tools that makes up your HANA appliance basically. Okay, let us not try to see this particular HANA as a particular database. So trying to answer the question, I think Yashwant has asked something like, why should we use a HANA database? Why should we use HANA? This is the reason why we need to use HANA. Okay, this is the unique platform, okay, that is having the capability of integrating with all the SAP components what you are having to hold the data in the in-memory computing chip, okay, for the purpose of querying the data as well as analyzing the data at a faster rate, which is something like 1,000, 10,000, 1 lakh times faster than your existing reporting applications. That's why we need to go for SAP HANA. It is not that we are going for SAP HANA. There are so many companies which have already realized the first cut taste of SAP HANA, and then they are moving out now at this point of time. Okay, so that's why in this particular SAP course curriculum, what you're going to do is that we're going to treat all these particular aspects here. What are the three aspects here? We're going to see the modeling aspects, the replication related aspects, and the reporting aspects, and we are going to work with all these particular tools. This is what is the unique product within the industry that will help you to integrate with all the applications, and then you can try to confidently say that you have a focused approach as well as you can have an institutional approach for working with respect to this SAP HANA with all these particular platforms. Okay. HANA is not only the performance, but we have so much of customization that we need to do in the HANA database. Agreed, Abdul. Yes. This is the reason why should we go for this SAP HANA. And one more thing. The industry who are working with SAP are the customers or the vendors basically who have very good amount of experience in the SAP BI or ECC platforms have already started moving their applications integrated with this respect to this SAP HANA database. So obviously in case if you want to see a position or place or a prominence of yourself with respect to SAP HANA, obviously I told you, right, this is only the unique course that will give you the full-fledged flavors of the ETL, the reporting and the modeling aspects with respect to this SAP HANA here basically. Okay. Is there any way to predict the SLAs with the heuristic data? Yes. We have seen what has happened, but we can have a tool to be saying the most probable thing that based on. The smart analytics is something which can be directly integrated with this particular platform here, Rakesh. We are having something called as SCPs, that is nothing but the smart enterprise process, that can try to have this heuristic intelligence that can be embedded into your analytical applications that can allow you to predict the things possibly in this case. That's what is called as the predictive analytics, right, basically, which is nothing but the heuristic data, which is very much possible with respect to your SAP HANA database here. Okay. So this is what, see, from the last 1 hour or 50 minutes, we have covered these things. What are your sources or what are your, and one more thing, while representing a different group, this is what I have created here, you can see here. this is what is your ETL or SLT what we use, okay, for the purpose of bringing the data into this SAP HANA database. Then we start modeling the things with the help of your SAP HANA Studio. Then we can have the option of using your information design tool or universe design tool of your business objects, where you try to use your IDT for creating the universes. Then we can use the web intelligence, crystal reports, or the dashboard designer or Microsoft Excel for the purpose of creating this reports, analysis, analytics, and dashboards based out of this particular SAP HANA. This is what is the end-to-end integration what we can see in this particular SAP landscape here. Okay, and coming on to this particular course, we have come up with a very unique scientific module, okay, that will help you either if you are from technical background or from ETL background, business subjects or busy platform, whatever platform you are coming, okay, you are going to have a very good feast, visual feast in terms of technical and functional aspects, okay, so that it will try to boost your contents, okay, the moment once you complete your SAP HANA course here, both technically, practically, along with functionally also, so that in your resume you can have the option of potentially placing your SAP HANA skill set, and then you can try to look for the premium positions in SAP HANA, premium positions in your SAP Business Intelligence landscape. That way this particular course has been designed. So it is not with respect to the content of the course what I'm talking about, okay, it is with respect to the way the information is going to be delivered to you with each and every session, okay, making sure that you feel confident the way this particular session is going to happen here. Ravi, can we access, can you tell me one strong point, Anna, with respect to the other databases? The one strong point what you're having here is that it is a hybrid database, Abdul. And second thing is that it is nothing but an in-memory computing database. That itself will tell you how SAP HANA is going to be differentiated from the other databases what you are having here. Other databases have their share in the secondary storage device, whereas SAP is having its place within the primary memory itself. That itself is going to be a great deviating factor here, basically, Abdul. Okay. Ravi, can we access HANA database without creating the universe in HANA? In business objects. Better thing is that the universe has to be created here. Sanjay. See, if you want to, Sanjay, before answering your question, Abdul, if you want to have your database objects of your HANA, okay, to be accessed from business objects, obviously you need to go with the universe, okay. Otherwise, what you can do is that you can export your data from your physical tables into the Excel sheets, and bypassing your universe, those Excel sheets can be used as a sources for your business objects reporting. That way it can be done, okay. Does it answer the question, Abdul? Okay. Now, at this point, I would like to ask you, what are the prerequisites of SAP HANA doing BTech here? Sanjay, Sanjay, I want to ask you, like, are you really working at this point of time, or you are a graduated right now, or else you have any hands-on fits in SAP HANA, SAP platform at this point of time? My 2 cents, okay, my 2 cents on this one is two things here. If you have a very good understanding on the database concepts like SQL, PLSQL, okay, the data warehouse modeling, how it is going to be done, the star schema concepts of dimension tables and fact tables, okay, you can count on me, okay, I'll try to make sure that, okay, see here, I say that you are going to have something like the 35 sessions that are going to be there here, okay, for such type of people, I don't mean this particular 35 sessions, okay, I'll make sure that you will be getting a full contents of all the topics what I have talked about here, okay, that can give you a reasonable contents of trying to look for the positions in the SAP market. That much I can issue to you, Sanjay, on this one. And one more thing that I can tell you here is regarding the prerequisites, the only prerequisites what I ask you to do is that a better understanding of your SQL, how to select the data or else how to do the manipulations on the data in the Oracle database with writing SQL and PLSQL, and a bit knowledge of your data warehousing like dimension modeling and fact tables. In case if you have that particular knowledge, yes, this can be a right platform for you where I can take you through all these particular things, not limiting to this particular 35 hours to can make you reasonably comfortable with respect to this HANA landscape. I'm not talking about HANA here, Sanjay, I'm talking about the entire SAP HANA landscape that I can assure you out. I hope I answered your question. What is the use of replicating the ECC HANA into data? What is the job scenario in this? This term is not convincing. Do you think that it is a recession market that is going at this point of time? I don't think so. I don't think so. We are in the Russian market here. Who has asked that question? I don't know. We are not in the Russian market. The market is stable. We are getting positions. We are getting the recruitments. We do place. We do the POCs. We do the assessment to a lot of companies here. Okay. So I don't think we are in the Russian market. Okay, and I have a little knowledge of SAP R/3 and PA and also a database, but have not completely worked on this. Pavitra, you get the hands-on sessions also. You'll be given the remote access server. The way I have gone like this, you'll be given the access to this particular server where you can have the option of practicing the ample amount of time till you perfectly gets on. Okay, so that's why you can count on us, Pavitra, as far as your execution is concerned with respect to this SAP HANA. I can guarantee you on that one. Okay. Yeah, you get the hands-on sessions also basically. There is an age factors in the job, not an age factor. There is no age factor that is existing basically. Right? What is the age factor you are talking about? I don't know. Bipin. Basically, my doubt is though you replicate the data into ECC, updates will happen in ECC data only. I told you right, Lakshman, there are two ways of replicating the data here. One is with the help of SLT replication, which is quite fast. As soon as your update or insert is happening, the data will be brought into your HANA database. Okay, but with the help of your retail applications, what we do is that we schedule them as soon as your business hours ends. Okay, in such a case, what happens here is, your data will be brought, okay, only once in a particular day. That's why we call this one as near real-time application in this particular case. This is what happens in this SAP ECC system basically here. Not required. If you are working in BI, SQL PLSQL is not required. Why? Because when I say that SQL and SQL, you need to have the knowledge of using the select. When I use something like a select statement, you need to understand what is the purpose of that one. That much is sufficient here to learn this particular course I'm talking about. If I need to do customization, this is going to be a menu-driven approach here, Abdul. Okay. So that's why there is nothing to do with respect to your SQL and PLSQL out there. Lakshman, what I mean to say is that what are the updates that happens, those particular updates also can be brought into your HANA database also, post the updations has happened in your system basically, okay. Slowly going forward, ECC database is going to be hosted on this HANA platform. The entire SAP business suite is going to be on your SAP platform, HANA platform only. Eventually down the line, not immediately in the near future. So I told you, right, when coming onto your course curriculum and all, this is what is the course curriculum that we'll be sharing here. Pavitra, the course is going to be an online where the location is not going to be a constraint. Okay, the course cost and other things will be given to you in a separate mail by our admin team, by our staff. Does it make sense with you, Pavitra? Okay, and the next thing here is that, see here, we're going to have this particular 35 sessions where you are going to have a good overview of all these three things here. One is going to be our ETL modeling and the reporting aspects here, where I'll be taking you through all the methodologies what I have committed in this particular course curriculum here, and you are going to have the weekday sessions. You are also going to have the do you get any material to get prepared for D classes beforehand? Yeah, I'll give the material. Yeah, I can help you in getting yourself certified, not a problem. We have our team who have already got certified. We have our team who have already got certified. Okay, they'll help you in, they will suggest you as well as they will help you in, they'll help you in getting your certification cleared with respect to the good guidance basically. As such, they really don't write those particular exams for you, but they'll help you out. With no prior experience, is it possible to do the course and get the good jobs with a lot of openings for the people in SAP and very less for the professional side like that? Rakesh, if we have the real intention, yes. Nothing is impossible here basically. And I'm not going theoretically also. I have seen a lot of people, how much marks need to be certified. That is a separate discussion that we need to take here, Bipin. Okay, I'll try to address with you in a one-on-one session as soon as this session is completed, maybe tomorrow. Do we get any material to get prepared for the classes beforehand? It is not required, Sanjay, but what I can do is that I'll give you a very good industry brand material, okay, that can keep yourself handy, and then while preparing for the course also, and it is not necessary that you need to get prepared before the class itself. I'll make sure that everything what you are getting here will be addressed to you then and there itself. Does it make sense to you, Sanjay? So we are going to have the weekday classes as well as we are going to have the weekend classes. Okay, the details and all will be published to you by our staff. We are having our dedicated staff who are working round the clock both in US along with the Indian time, who can assist you in a reasonable amount of time, and they can get back to you. Okay, so I like to continue with SAP and database background, and I got to know by my friend this is booming. Yes, this is really booming, Pavitra. Yes. I can help you in all these particular things, Pavitra. Please don't worry on this one. I can help you in the sense big classes and part of big classes we help you in doing all these particular activities. Okay. So another 5 minutes left, 5 to 10 minutes left. If you have any other reasonable amount of good questions that need to be asked, please let me know. The course timings, the course questions, the fee and all will be intimated to you, okay, on a one-on-one basis by our team. Okay. How to possible to practice early, I told you, right? From when are we going to have the classes? Already there is one batch which is going to commence from Monday, Indian Standard Time from 8 to 9. Indian Standard Time from 8 to 9. We have two sessions parallel running from 7 to 8 and 8 to 9. Okay, and there is one more batch which is supposed to be scheduled during weekend and will be intimating you in case it is going to happen. Where are you, Sandhya? In India or in US? Indian Standard Time AM, Germany. Okay. Germany is, 5 hours behind India, right? 5 hours or 6 hours behind India, right? So it is at 9 o'clock, 8 to 9, it is going to be the session. 8 to 9. Yeah, 4.5 hours. So you need to get at 5 o'clock or 4:30 in the morning. We do this one here. Abdul, please don't worry on this one, and our team will be right behind you. Okay, in order to get that, in order to provide you the details, and then we can help you out as soon as we can. Thanks. Thanks for your appreciation also. How many hours in each class? Each class is going to run for 1 hour. And one more thing for Pavitra, for you, I can commit to you that 35 hours is not going to be the duration for us, and my commitment to you is that I'll make you comfortable to make sure that you're going to be confident of each and every concept that I'm talking about. So that is my promise to you, basically. Yeah, you get the hands-on. Yes, we are going to have the practical sessions also, Sanya, and everything what I do is that I'll show you online how exactly every concept is going to be dealt with you, and I'll show it to you online to you with the complete full-fledged hands-on sessions. Okay. The course for completion is going to be for 35 sessions, Bipin. Yeah, we'll be sharing with the recorded session, Lakshman. Not a problem. Anything else? Approximately 2 months, yes. Okay. So Raghu, definitely Sanjay, you can count on me. Okay, I'll help you to pursue your visions in SAP HANA with full-fledged commitment from my side. From our big classes side, we'll help you that particular commitment. Okay, if we are not going to provide you anything that we promise, you can always have a chance to come back to us and then directly question us at any point of time. But in case if you like this particular demo and then wish to join, I sincerely request you to make as much as you can. And then the better takeaway from here is that we expect you to be on your jobs as soon as you can, basically. Yeah. Yeah, it is possible, Sanjay. So Raghu?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So is it okay that I can wind up the session now?
Yeah, definitely, sir.
Is there anything that need
Yeah.
to be asked, that need clarifications, kindly mail to us and we'll be getting back to you as soon as we can with all the related information. Okay. I sincerely appreciate your time and taking time to join this particular demonstration, and I wish you a very good day and very good night. And then hope so, in case if you are interested, we'll be meeting soon. Thanks a lot for your participation in this particular webinar. Thank you so much.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm leaving out. Randy.
Yeah, sir, definitely, sir.